Hello, this is Josh from Bariatric Boxes. I just wanted to give everybody an update as far as how I'm progressing with this month or 5 week eating like a bariatric patient. I'm meeting with Jimmy Nutrition and grocery store walk around that I just got done doing, taking pictures of stuff. So let's start with Jimmy Nutrition. I'm stoked to be working with him and collaborating with him. A customer told me about him, and I looked him up on Facebook. He has a master's in exercise science, kinesiology. It's something that I really wanted to get into myself. I was looking to become a sports dietitian, but kind of chose a different path. What Jimmy does is he works with individuals from all over, all different gyms, and he gets them to understand how calories work and how it affects their weight. He will not work with a with that he will not work with an individual unless they use MyFitnessPal and they track every single day. When he told me that, I said, "That's awesome. That's pretty much how I operate." I had patients when I was at Cooper, and the one thing that I really wanted them to do was to track calories. Tracking calories is very, 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 very important for people that don't understand how weight works. If you don't understand how weight works, MyFitnessPal or any kind of calorie counting app is only going to benefit you. It shows you in real time the calories that you're putting into your body and how it affects your weight towards the end of the month when you can look at everything. If you don't use it properly and you only use it and only put the good foods in there, then you're really not doing yourself any justice. So what's cool about Jimmy was he makes them track every day. Plus, they come and when they see him, they review their progress, and he calls them out on stuff that doesn't make sense. The same that I would do when I was in the office. Because if the weights don't match up and what you're saying doesn't match, it's science. There's really nothing you could say. So it's really cool what Jimmy's doing. He is great at explaining things as well, a lot better communicator than I am. So I think that we can get a lot accomplished together. Um, so that's what are we going to do together? We're going to have, I don't know, we're going to do something. So we're probably going to do some seminars or some talks, some cooking classes, probably hit up a few gyms and see what we can do together. So regardless, it's a good guy to know, and he's doing some really cool things. So I'm really, really, really excited to be working with him. So that's Jimmy. Next would be my progress. It's the same as last week. Staying busy, eating 2 to 3 meals, probably two. Yesterday was a bad. I don't want to call it a bad day. I hate this stuff. I don't hate. I feel like a patient when they're like, oh, "I had a bad day yesterday." No, what happened was Misty asked me if I wanted tickets to the U.S. Food show down in Atlantic City. So if you've never been to a food show, it's basically just a buffet. So you just sit there, everybody sets up shop, and they give out all these samples of their products, and you just go around and sample it. And it's like, I know I'm not buying all this stuff. Like I'm not buying so I was just trying like cheesecakes, and it was good. So then I was thinking, oh, that's cool. Then I can show people that like I ate all this stuff. I had like cheesecakes. Actually, let's go through it. There weren't cheesecakes. It was like little samplings, but it was still cheesecake. I probably had like two or three different types of cheesecake. I had these delicious cookies from this company in Central Jersey. Um, I had lemon cake. I had this burger that was a vegan burger. It was delicious, and I wanted to try to see if we can't use it for our meals. Um, but it was too high calories. It was like 290 calories for a patty. Um, but it was awesome for a vegan burger. It's you probably know the name of it. It's like Absolute Burger or something. It was really really good. Um, so I had that. It was really good. So I had the Absolute. I had the ground turkey or ground vegetable mix, like taco that they made. So I had that. I had this little slice of pizza. Uh, I don't know. I had a bunch of stuff. So does that mean that my diet, my weight, and everything for the next few weeks is done and over with? No. Does that mean that I blew up my whole day and it's the end of the world and I just blew everything up that I worked on for the last 10 days or however long it's been. No, that's not how weight works. And that's what Jimmy and myself and anybody else that I bring along or can collaborate with are going to be on that same page. We have to change the way that we look at weight and how it changes. And I have to do a job or a better job of explaining it. So I hope to accomplish with this is how weight works, the best that I can describe it for today. If you don't get it, or if there's something you don't understand, please let's have a discussion about it. Because if you do not get this, then you're really not going to understand what I'm trying to accomplish as a whole. It all comes down to calories. Does that mean you have to count calories? No. But just be aware that everything has calories unless it's 0 calories. So if you're snacking on anything or if you're eating anything and it says it's healthy or low sugar or low fat or low carb or gluten free or whatever, that doesn't mean it doesn't have any calories. So let's focus on calorie intake and how calories affect weight. I used to have patients come to me, and when I would tell them, do this calculation, let's figure out how many calories you're taking in currently for you to maintain your current weight. They'll look at me and go, it's crazy, and say, no, there's no way. I don't eat that. I barely eat. So I was like, no, it's science. And then he'll keep saying, and it'd be like a back and forth. So I got to the point where I explained it like this. Think of a person that's in coma, right? A person that's knocked out. If they're in a coma for like however long, say 3 months, how's that person alive? How's that person being fed? More than likely, they're getting what's called a tube feed. They're getting a tube either down their throat, down their nose, or directly into their stomach or into their small intestine, with a tube going to a bag of formula, and that formula is keeping that person, keeping their nutritional status to where it needs to be. A dietitian's job in the hospital or in long-term or wherever, their job is to make that recommendation for what that formula should be. That formula is based off whatever that individual needs. So if they're diabetic, if they're on dialysis, if they have like any kidney issues, if they have any wounds, if they have any vitamin or mineral deficiencies, which will usually probably be put into their IV bag. But whatever, that formula is designed for that individual patient, right? So for me, when I was weighing about 220 pounds, which I don't know where I'm at now, if I was 220 pounds, that in kilograms would be about 100 kilograms, right? So that would be times 25, would be about 2,500 calories. So if I was in a coma and I was 220 pounds, I would give myself 2,500 calories a day for me to maintain my weight. That's what's called your resting metabolic rate, is when you're at rest and how many calories you need due to the calories burned through breathing, through digesting food, through your heart beating, through everything that your body does when you're not awake. If I wanted to have a person in a coma lose weight, I'll take away calories. If I wanted them to gain weight, then I'll give additional calories. So it's just a numbers game you have to play. Furthermore, bariatric patients, how do they lose weight? Every bariatric patient is going to lose weight within the first, definitely within the first few weeks and months. And typically around 6 months, year and 6 months, 2 years, when it kind of slows down for people. But why do they lose the weight? They lose the weight because they're going on a diet where it's clear liquids and then full liquids and then pureed and then soft foods. And then finally 2 months after surgery, they can go back to regular texture foods. During that entire transition, they're probably only getting in between 500, 700, 800 calories a day. Plus they're not hungry. Plus they have to get fluids in. So it's a lot of moving parts for them. And you will see, and bariatric patients will tell you this, it comes to a point where their weight loss will slow down dramatically or drastically, and they can actually start gaining weight if they're not doing the right things and they're eating a wrong amount of calories. Diets. Why do diets work? Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, Nutrisystems, Atkins, Paleo, South Beach diet, Mediterranean diet, Slim Fast, Slim Slow, name a diet. What's the other one? Keto. All those diets, why do they work? They all have different types of ways of getting you to weight loss, but they all work essentially the same way. So let's look into it. Weight Watchers, it's a point system. You meet with them, they give you a point or an amount of points that you get per day, and then you follow those points, and as long as you do what you're supposed to, you have weight loss. Well, those points are attached to certain foods or certain calories, and the amount of calories they give you is less than what you were taking in initially, and that's how you had weight loss. Weight Watchers is a good system. It's similar to the diabetic exchange list, and I forget which one stole it from who, but they're pretty much the same thing. The problem I have with Weight Watchers is that they have a free list where you can have as much stuff off the list as you want, and it's like chicken breast and eggs and like this whole list. And they just came out like a new one, I think, a couple months ago, and it's a new Weight Watchers. To tell somebody that they can have as much of something as they want, some people are going to definitely have as much as they possibly can have. I've worked with multiple patients that are like that. So from that angle, I don't agree with it. I understand what the list is. They're giving you free foods that you're going to fill up on, proteins that people don't really typically eat in abundance of in one sitting anyway. But the thought process behind it is, like, what if you have somebody that has renal issues or kidney issues and they don't know and nobody tells them anything? So they just say, oh, I'm going to do a Weight Watchers diet. And they do that, and then they're having all this excess protein. Now you're doing more harm than you are good. So those are the issues out of Weight Watchers. And I think Oprah does Weight Watchers, I think. Oprah doesn't do Weight Watchers. Like, she doesn't. Like, she's got all the money in the world. She has a personal chef. She is not eating frozen bag cauliflower steamable things. Like, she's doing her own thing. So it's whatever. That's her marketing thing. Jenny Craig, I think Jenny Craig, they give you meals. They mail you meals. Nutrisystem, they mail you meals. How do they work? Again, you're eating less calories overall than what you did prior to starting the diet. Any kind of detox or cleansing diet or fasting diet. Why are you losing weight with that? It's because you're eating a lot less calories. If you're fasting, you're not eating anything. And then all of a sudden you're going to eat one meal or however they have it worked. Keto and Atkins are the same thing. People are going to argue about that. I don't think it's healthy for bariatric patients. I definitely don't think it's healthy. Why don't I think it's healthy for a bariatric patient? Bariatric patients typically have gallbladder issues before surgery because your gallbladder is responsible for like filtering fat. As you lose weight, all that fat melts and gets filtered out through your kidneys as well, which taxes your kidneys even more. So having a diet that is high in fat for a patient that's already at a high risk for gallstones or having their gallbladder removed doesn't make sense to me. And that's what I told a bariatric surgeon this week, because I didn't understand why he was recommending that. So, and people that get bariatric surgery, they get it so they don't have to worry about diets anymore. That's like the ultimate diet. So what's the point of doing another diet if you had bariatric surgery already? Like, what else do you want to get done? So that's my feeling on some diets. It's not that diets don't work. It's just diets don't work for long-term success. Like the 21-day fix. So do it for 21 days. You have a little compartment. You eat like 6 meals a day. You lose the weight because you had less calories overall. Awesome. But then what do you do on day 22? Day 22, you're like, what can I grab? What can I eat? Boom. You get right back to the old habits, and then your weight goes up. So I think it's needed, and it's time that people start understanding how weight works as a whole, and how to sustain weight loss for the long term rather than keep doing these yo-yo diets and going up and down, when in reality, it's just, if you can figure out, it's our job, and I'm going to make sure it's our job. So when I say we, it's Jimmy, myself, and I have some dietitians in the works. So it's our job to educate people so that they understand that. And I'm not trying to like sell or push a product, because I'm going to give you meal plans so you can do it on your own. My goal with this whole company is to be a convenience. I don't want people to think that they need me to be successful. I know people can be successful without me. I just started in like July, so people have been doing it for years. I just think that the way that we're going about it, and the field of nutrition itself is just way too muddy, and people don't have anyone to trust or anywhere to go. Um, Hopefully, I could build that trust. And the only way you can do that is by keeping communication open and being questioned and keeping that dialogue open. So if anybody has any concerns or any questions, like bring it to my attention so that we can talk about it. Um, it's I'm used to having people come to me and like, "Hey, what do you do?" And give me like a look down and be like, "You're a dietitian," uh, they're so one sided with like the Dr. Oz and everything else that's out there, which is completely understandable. Um, but I really really hope that I can get the point of calorie control or how weight is controlled by calories across as best as I can, so people will know. Like, I don't want to get hit by a bus and then people have no idea how to eat because like I'm gone and now they just don't know how to shop. So we just have to, once you get it, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, it's easy to read a nutrition label. These are how these calories work. The best thing you can do is go to MyFitnessPal and create an account, and myself or Jimmy will set it up for you. And if you track every day and you put things in there, you're going to educate yourself. A chicken breast is a chicken breast is a chicken breast. So if you look at like a 4-ounce chicken breast, which is like the size of your palm, if you get a 4-ounce chicken breast, raw, skinless, boneless, it's about 120 calories, about 27 grams of protein, uh, like no carbs, one carb, and very little fat, 1 or 2 grams. Um, I don't know that from going to school or anything. I just know that from using MyFitnessPal all the time, from developing recipes and analyzing recipes. So the more you see something, the more you work with it, then you kind of can go and you see, all right, well, that's going to be like 300 calories, or that's going to be at 340. Um, or maybe I'm just different because I'm a chef and a dietitian. I don't know, but I like to believe that people can figure this stuff out with a little bit of help and a little bit of tools and some guidance. Um, so hopefully I did a okay job explaining that, but if not, we're gonna keep explaining it until we beat it into everybody so that they understand. As far as other updates, getting a pastry chef ish. Um, no, I'm getting a pastry chef. She's gonna be making breads, rolls, wraps, and like protein bars all from scratch. So that's exciting. I have Jamie we're gonna be working with, and then 2 dietitians that I'll be working with as well. Um, my ultimate goal is to get my meals or these meals covered by insurance companies. And to do that, I need to start providing data and start collecting data. So I'm going to be running a promo next month that's going to be based around MyFitnessPal. People are going to log every day for a month, and they can order whatever amount of meals they want. They don't have to order any. They just have to bring in the data to me. And for whatever meals they order, I'll give them $1 back on every meal, cash at the end of the month, after dietitians review it, because there's multiple times that we look at food diaries that they just don't make sense. Like every day you had a salad, that's all you had, and you're 600 pounds, and your weight went up 20 pounds. That doesn't make sense. But I think it'd be really awesome if people that were sick or people that needed like the meals for them to lose weight or for blood sugar control or for anything, if it wasn't covered by the insurance companies. Imagine if that happened. I would do some things. So that's where my mind's at. I'm trying to bring in the best people that I know to keep growing this. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your continued ordering, even though we are messing up left and right. So we're gonna get better. I gave Misty your orders already for the desserts, so we shouldn't have any hangups like last week. I think I figured out like a new way of bagging, so I'm gonna try it out this week and hope for the best. So fingers crossed. Hopefully we're good. Other than that, let's get some more questions in. Ask any questions you want. Oh no, wait. The snacks. So before we go, I want to talk about the snacks for at the shop. Right, I got all the snacks. Snacks are only used to get you from meal to meal, right? Or in my case, I have a snack in the morning and then I have meal, and that's meal. Snack is not just free for all, have whatever you want. Those calories do count. You don't want to sit there and have a bunch of snacks just for the sake of snacking. A lot of times people snack because they're dehydrated or they're not getting enough fluids in. So always ask yourself if you're getting enough fluids in. And then think about those snacks and how they're going to dissolve and how long they're going to keep you full until the next meal. So you typically want the protein snacks because, again, like we talked about, your stomach's a bowl of hot broth, right? So that protein is going to take longer to digest than those crackers would, which will hold you longer until your next meal. Always try to get low calorie stuff. Look at the nutrition label. Make sure the protein is always higher than the fat for the nutrition label. Yeah, get whatever snacks you want. But remember, your goal is to stay as close to your calorie goal or calorie budget for that day as possible. And if your meals are already X amount of calories, then you're adding an additional X amount of calories and snacks. As long as the numbers hit. So, again, track it by Fitness It's really, really beneficial. So, all right. All right. See you guys on Sunday. Thanks.